Alright folks, how we feeling after yesterday? I'll be honest, there were some trailers that I was expecting to drop, but they didn't. Like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Come on, what gives? But this trailer dropped early on in the Super Bowl, and watching it on my TV, my jaw was on the floor for most of it, if not all of it. I am, of course, talking about our second trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Cause, oh my god, did this trailer blow my hair back. This movie's gonna be huge. So this trailer starts out, Doctor Strange explains that he's having the same dream every night. I'm guessing this dream is the one where the world is all fucked up, some of which we saw in the first trailer. But then when he wakes up, the nightmare begins. Now, I can't help but notice the use of the word nightmare here, because Nightmare is in fact the name of a Doctor Strange villain from the comics. And there has been a rumor going around that he's going to be the main villain of this movie. I don't know if that's true or not. In fact, there are honestly a few different contenders for who the villain could be in this movie. I'll get to that. There's this exchange between Doctor Strange and Wong. Doctor Strange says, "I did what I had to do." And Wong replies,
"You opened the doorway between universes. We don't know who or what will walk through it."
I wonder if this is referring to the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, because Doctor Strange did in fact open a doorway between universes in that movie. So is that what Wong is referring to here, or is he referring to another incident? The runes of Kafkal are not to be messed with lightly. And so then, once again, we see Doctor Strange meeting up with Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, and we have some new dialogue between the two of them.
What do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
Viz, of course, referring to Vision. Apparently, in their spare time, Wanda Maximoff and Vision have had conversations about the multiverse. Let us not forget that there is still a White Vision out there somewhere in the MCU. After the events of WandaVision, the White Vision, which is Vision's body put back together by S.W.O.R.D., he got his memories back from the Vision Wanda created. So now it's like the Vision has in fact returned and he is out there somewhere. I'm wondering when he is going to reunite with Wanda, if ever. But anyway, moving on with this trailer. This next bit has a lot of people talking. We see Doctor Strange in these robotic handcuffs, and it looks like he's being escorted by Ultron bots or something? They look like Ultron Sentinels. They have little chest lights, but their heads look like the Ultron drones from Avengers Age of Ultron. This place looks like a really pristine, almost like a museum-ish kind of place. I'm thinking maybe this might be a certain school, because then this happens.
We should tell him the truth.
I didn't even notice until my second time watching this trailer. I was like, holy shit, that's Patrick Stewart's voice. Unmistakable. Oh my god, Patrick Stewart is reprising his role as Charles Xavier, Professor X from Fox's X-Men movies. Yeah, I love how they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They learned from Spider-Man No Way Home that if they don't show it in the trailer, it's probably gonna end up leaking online anyway. So let's just show it in the trailer. We see the back of his head and it looks like he's rolling up on his wheelchair. Holy shit, guys. Again, the multiverse is expanding. I love the fact that when it comes to the multiverse in the MCU, they're not just being like, okay, we're gonna invent new universes. No, they're actually bringing in other Marvel Cinematic franchises. That's so much more impressive. Because the Fox X-Men movies, you know, they've had good, they've had bad, but it's the second biggest movie franchise that Marvel has ever had. With Patrick Stewart showing up here as Professor X, which honestly is kind of weird, since the last time we saw him was Logan, and he died in that movie, so I'm wondering which era this Professor X is from. But as I was saying, with Professor X showing up, I'm wondering who else might possibly show up in this movie from the X-Men franchise. Could we have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Ian McKellen as Magneto, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool possibly? Maybe in one of the credits scenes. We did already have one character from that franchise cross over into the MCU with Evan Peters showing up in WandaVision as a version of Quicksilver, kinda sorta. There's a part of me that hopes they're gonna touch on that in this movie. I hope they're going to explain exactly why Evan Peters specifically was chosen for WandaVision. Cause as of right now, I still feel like that was a troll move. Point is, Fox's X-Men franchise is now crossing over into the MCU, and it's exciting. Can't wait to see what'll come of that. And then we get more of these trippy-ass visual effects. The stuff we see in this trailer is even more mind-bending than we saw in the first trailer, or in the entirety of the first Doctor Strange movie. Just seeing this stuff, I was like, whoa. I wish IMAX 3D were still around. Cause again, the vibe of this movie, yeah, it totally sells the Sam Raimi-ness of it all. It really looks like it's gonna concentrate on this dark tone, which is awesome. Yeah, totally dive into the whole horror gothic element. We do have some scary-ass visuals in this trailer. That mummy thing we see America Chavez looking at. The end when we see this horrific zombie Doctor Strange shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? This is nuts. We get that scene with Sinister Strange again. And honestly, from the vibe of this scene in this trailer, I'm thinking maybe he won't even be the villain of this movie. In fact, there's a certain witch who might be the villain, according to her line right here.
You break the rules. Look out! I'm becoming hero. I do it, I become the enemy.
Now, I imagine she might be referring to the events of WandaVision with that line, which, yeah, totally makes sense in context. She bended reality and put a whole town of people under mind control. Yeah, the people of Westview, I'm sure they're still going through therapy. Scarlet Witch might just be the villain of this movie, cause I wouldn't exactly call her stable at this point in her life. Like I said, I hope she's okay. There's one snippet we see that looks really interesting. That looks like Captain Marvel, and she's fighting Scarlet Witch, but I've heard some people say that looks like Maria Rambeau specifically. But we know that Maria Rambeau died of cancer, we learned that in WandaVision. So if this is Maria Rambeau, then this might be her from another universe, where she became Captain Marvel. Okay. Interesting. I mean, we do know at this point that this movie is going to use some elements from What If, because if you look at the new poster, down in the bottom right corner, you'll see one of those shards of glass has Captain Carter's shield reflected in it, as in, yeah, that Captain Carter from What If, which implies that Haley Atwell is going to show up in this movie as Captain Carter in live action. So with Patrick Stewart showing up as Professor X, and Haley Atwell showing up as Captain Carter, and possibly Lashana Lynch showing up as her version of Captain Marvel from another universe, the obvious question is, what other cameos might we get in this movie? Honestly, the list is endless. But of course, that should not be the point of this movie. Like Spider-Man No Way Home had appearances from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and all those characters from those other Spider-Man cinematic franchises, but it focused primarily on Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and it was his story. I'm hoping such is the case here. I imagine this movie is going to be jam-packed with content, but will still primarily focus on our Dr. Stephen Strange. This is my most anticipated movie of 2022. I imagine when tickets go on sale, they're gonna go fast, thanks to the hype this trailer builds up. This movie's gonna be nuts, cause this is the general direction that the MCU is heading in. The multiverse, a couple of MCU titles have dealt with it already. WandaVision, Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's all been leading to this. I am so ready. So, the official trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? And what was your favorite thing you saw in this trailer? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm actually headed to the Santa Monica Pier with a couple of buddies for Singles Awareness Day today. It's gonna be a day of bromance. And I hope you all today are celebrating yourselves, cause self-love, well, that just comes first. Peace!